Welcome back to the show and today's news of the day. And there is some news today, and of course, the big news is all of the players are in the hubs. Well, they're getting to, and they're going to be in the hubs. So Edmonton and Toronto could be very busy. A lot of players checking into hotels. Some practicing going on today. Some reports on who is and isn't in practice, and I'm trying to avoid the minutia of it because there is some minutia to it, right? But we're starting things off with Arizona. So yesterday we heard, sounds like John Chayka is leaving. Apparently he terminated his contract 48 hours ago. Pierre LeBrun's trying to track it down. Apparently Arizona's not giving any kind of statement on it. Sounds like it wasn't a good divorce. It sounds like it might have been kind of messy. So we'll see what kind of information comes out over the next couple of weeks. This may be one of those things where we find out over the next months and years what happened. But Steve Sullivan is apparently going to be named the interim general manager. So Steve Sullivan, a guy with a pretty decent NHL career himself. And we'll see how things go with Arizona from here, with John Chayka out and somebody else in. And whether or not they look to trust Sullivan with the team, or if they look to name somebody else, if he is truly an interim general manager. No pressure, Steve. You just got to figure out what to do with Taylor Hall. No pressure. None. Stamkos and Hedman will not be playing on Wednesday against the Florida Panthers in the exhibition game. Hedman did not travel with the Tampa Bay Lightning to Toronto as he has a personal matter to attend to, and that's all Julien Brisebois would give. Just, it's a personal matter, nothing further, which could be a number of things. It's a lower body injury for Stamkos. It's not set. He's looking to ramp up his workouts and practices and hopefully get into the lineup once we get set for the playoffs. Keep in mind, Tampa doesn't play a game that necessarily is a playoff atmosphere game until the second week of August. So while yes, the round robin is important for those seedings, it's more important, I would think, to be healthy. So if Stamkos isn't 100%, he's probably not going to play. And we'll see how that affects Tampa's standing, and maybe they end up being like a number 4 seed. How fair would that be? And then Stamkos comes back. Congratulations, you get a hungry Tampa Bay Lightning team looking to bounce back off getting swept in the first round last year. Good luck. Sad news today, reason that I'm repping the 1967 design for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Eddie Shack passed away today, 83 years of age. And Eddie Shack is a name I heard plenty growing up. My mom and dad would often talk about the fights between Eddie Shack and John Ferguson, and how as soon as one was on the ice, the other was, then it was automatic. And Eddie Shack's well known to me as somebody who was one of the great personalities in the game, and approachable, funny, and genuinely seemed like a great guy. So, my condolences to his family, friends, loved ones. Eddie Shack, 2020 sucks. It's like the other day, Regis Philbin passes. Now we see Eddie Shack pass. Some great people being taken away in the year 2020, because that's what 2020 does. Speaking of 2020, and as bad as that segue may very well be, there's some good news if you're a Hawks fan, in that Corey Crawford, what was keeping him out wasn't an injury. It was that he tested positive for COVID-19. He did have symptoms, but he has recovered now, and he looks forward to getting himself into game shape and playing against the Edmonton Oilers starting next Saturday. So Crawford's good to go. Chicago Blackhawks, I think if you underestimate them, I think you do that at your peril. The Oilers should not be a team that's in a position to underestimate anybody, considering what they're out to prove. So they should be laser focused right from game one. If they're not, yeah, they could be in trouble, because Chicago has the veterans to do it, and over a best of 5 series after all this long layoff, yeah, Edmonton has to remain focused every minute of every game. Speaking of focused, Sidney Crosby wants to play on Tuesday against the Philadelphia Flyers, exhibition game. He wants to get out there and play. He feels that he can. It will be interesting to see if Coach Sullivan throws him on the ice or says, you know what, we're going to make sure you don't get hurt and that you're good to go against Montreal starting on the weekend. So Crosby says he's good. It really wasn't a big deal, but it was being made a big deal because it's Sidney Crosby, and anytime he's not on the ice and he's not practicing, and there's some rumors of injury here and there, Crosby is going to play, though. Speaking of going to play, and I'm actually kind of surprised by this one, is Lindblom. Lindblom is going to play for the Philadelphia Flyers. At least he's on their roster. So he's on their roster. It looks like he's going to play. Fingers crossed. That would be a huge boost for the Philadelphia Flyers. Like, I don't know that we can measure that. If he can come back and play, it is a gigantic boost to a team that was already the hottest team in the league going into the pause. So maybe Philadelphia can claim some magic here, and maybe they can go on a run. Maybe this is the year for Philadelphia. They haven't won a cup since 1975. Who knows? In this crazy 2020 year, maybe Philadelphia is not just going to get to a finals. Maybe they're going to make it happen. They've been to a finals many a time since 1975. Michael Ferland is expected to play for the Vancouver Canucks. I'm mildly surprised by this, but at the same time, it's been a long time since he played, and I just hope he's 100%. So if he's going to play against Minnesota, a team that can throw the odd hit here and there, I'm hoping he's 100% and that, he stays healthy. Because Ferland, I don't think it was a bad signing. I think that maybe it was a risky signing by Benning. We knew last summer that the odds of him playing a full 82-game schedule, slim, and it really hasn't changed in Vancouver, sadly. I'm aware nobody played 82 games this season. I'm just saying that Ferland, him playing a full season, uninjured, that was the risk coming into this year after last year in Carolina. Speaking of Carolina, much better segue, much happier with that one. Brett Pesce, he's on the roster, but he's not going to play right away. The return date is unknown. So Pesce being on the roster means, well, he's going to play, we think. We hope. So you got to have him on the roster. He's on there. And Pesce being out is potentially huge, especially since Dougie Hamilton, who was supposed to be returning for the play-in round, he's unlikely to play versus the New York Rangers. Looks like he probably doesn't. And if Hamilton and Pesce are out, that just hurts Carolina more. Now, I was already taking the Rangers in that series. And if Carolina's blue line is missing two of their top four, that is a huge loss. Now, they did do their best at the trade deadline to try to mitigate that. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Carolina's able to get done. I'd be interested to know what you guys think in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. And remember, Tuesday is the start of the exhibition games. Saturday is the start of the games that matter. I'll be here to report on them when those get going. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.